Anti-Afro Spengalis, I thought I would come on here and answer your questions because for 2 days in two live streams, I had questions posed to me. I've been getting a lot of DMs and emails, people asking me questions about a situation that I'm not actually involved with, but people wanted my view because they felt it was related to me because I guess a turn of events has occurred and certain things have come out. But listen, people, I'm really not gung ho about really giving an opinion, but let me tell you this. I listen to what you're asking me to provide. I think I can provide some information that will help from a buyer beware perspective. That's what I decide I would do. When it comes to trying to figure out who did what, who said what, who's right or wrong, I can say this. I just went through a situation. You saw videos, if you clicked on the videos, that was pretty extensive when it came to verifying certain things. I don't think you can resolve something like this in a day or two, and certainly not overnight. But this does take me back not too long ago when the topic was privacy and information being revealed. And there was this big deal about private information had supposedly been revealed. And all that really represented is what you're seeing now: low down, dirty, vile, vicious, backstabbing, and treachery. That's what it is. And I'll get into more of that, how it reveals itself in the most disgusting ways. And more so, how you've never seen so many people either go blind at the same time or their cowardice just reveals itself simultaneously. But when you think about it, people, is that really a surprise? Given what we go through in our community, dealing with all this violent crime that's unresolved, looking the other way in the face of so much fraud with Umar Johnson running around here 10 plus years later, is it really a surprise? When you think about it, it's not. People, now you have your comparison. Now you have, I guess, information. I can't authenticate information, but in a relative sense, you have a comparison about at least what alleged information is. And if somebody is deciding to release information, it really doesn't matter what the information is. That is on that person. It's not a reflection on you. If you reciprocate, that's another story. Again, I can't make a judgment about who is being reconciled as the person that's right or the person that's wrong. I have to reemphasize the buyer beware aspect. And here's what I want to say about it. And thank you. I don't want to forget to say thank you very, very much in ways you can't imagine, because when people sent me the clips or the video and I'm looking at, what am I looking at? 4 hours, 3, I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Thank you for giving me a timestamp. I can't listen, as you know, to videos that are 3 and 4 hours long, especially when I'm clicking on the timestamp and I'm hearing the rancor and the language. So thank you. What I want to say is this. One of the most shocking things I saw was people in one live stream championing on, cheering on, agreeing with, a person A, I'm just saying. And then when you send me a clip for a person B, the same person is there cheering on person B and laughing at each of the people, then appearing on a live stream where they have joined in eviscerating the host of a live stream that they're now appearing in. That's where my mind goes. Because for me, where I look at this stuff, when you're talking about providing a product, having support, even though it's something online, that's something that I take seriously. If I'm going to put together something and people come and visit the channel, does that mean you have to will your life away to me? No. I don't want to consort with enemies. I don't want enemies in the message board, on the message board. We know that happens. We know people subscribe to channels of people they don't like. But to be so blatant about it, I think it's nauseating people. I think it's disgusting. I don't have any tolerance for that. So that's why I'm so glad that YouTube has this tool in place. But you see, for people who want to be flippant about it and say, well, it doesn't really matter because I welcome everybody. People that say that, you should see the devastation occurring when information is revealed and confidences are violated. That is not what people are saying. People are devastated because information that they never thought would get out is revealed. That is what a situation like this leads to. Can you snip off every single corner and make every single thing perfect? And you're going to get every single, quote, traitor and backstabber and treacherous person and evil person right at the door? No. But if there's no effort put forth, you're exposing yourself to something I don't even want to imagine. And just seeing that, and then when you see the revelation, when people recognize that, you could just hear the gasp. Oh my God, this person was just here, and the host is not even aware, like, of these live streams, because they're trying to manage what's happening, the turmoil in their live stream. This is a freaking nightmare, and I am so glad I am not involved, but I am giving you this perspective as a warning. Do your homework. Now, I'm going to tell you a particularly frightening, and I will tell you frightening account of how serious this can get. People think, oh, this is just YouTube, and people are taking this way too seriously. People have lost their lives associated with social media. This is not a joke. But let me tell you about a situation that was very serious. If people want to consider it not a big deal about who they are allowing in their space. And yes, we know people can make up, fake screen name. We know that. But when there is no effort and people are not listening to people who pose a risk, that's very different from somebody using trickery. Because somebody using trickery is probably going to have a lot less damage than somebody who is so blatantly engaging in activity and they're totally and completely unmonitored and ignored as to their actions. When someone is reckless in evaluating what they have before them. So let me tell you what occurred. And of course, I'm not going to give names. I was helping out a friend. And let me just take a name off the table so you won't be guessing. It is not Rev G. This person does several live streams like a week. So me and other people were helping this person because there was a suspicion that there were a couple of people who were moderators for this person's live stream were actually moderating in other live streams, which in of itself wouldn't be a big deal. But for one particular situation, it was extremely serious because another live stream a host had been involved with an incident that actually involved physical contact. It wasn't just talking, people. You know, people talk, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. And so that situation was finally located, that a moderator was actually in that other live stream. So we're going, wait a minute, is that person just there checking things out? Because yeah, you're checking things out. No, that person was actually working the board, communicating with that other host who had been involved with that physical contact, impacting that other host's life. Who knows what was going to happen thereafter? That kind of stuff. Now, can you control, like I said a second ago, everything A to Z? No, but imagine if that had not been discovered. That removes an opportunity for you to take precautions. So people, go about it how you want to go about it. To me, it's mind-boggling. That is the most mind-boggling aspect of the situation, this particular situation, because there's another interesting phenomena that came out of this whole thing, which deserves its own video, because there were some concerns expressed by those involved that I thought was pretty ironic, that I'm going to cover in another video. But I'm using the buyer beware edict. If you want to be in a place where you are getting a true respite, I'm speaking from my perspective again, because when I come to social media, I want to enjoy myself. Even if you're having an intense debate, you want to do so without having to feel that your life is at risk, that your family's life is at risk, that you're going to be forced into a conversation about topics that are so over the top. That's not what is the theme in this space. When I say the space, YouTube is not a porn site. If you don't want to engage in these discussions, they shouldn't be brought to a forum that you're participating in. And again, I don't go to those sites. I don't go to those pages. I'm bringing the information to you again as a buyer beware, because people were asking about it. And this is a context. If you don't like what you experienced, and this is with any situation, especially if you're donating money. Now, if you're donating money, does that mean that you can dictate? No, it's not about dictating anything. It's checking things out. There are times when you give a suggestion that maybe a host didn't even realize it. But it's a product. It's just like these advertisers. You see all these irritating ads that are coming up, even if you're not monetized. They are making decisions about what they want to see in terms of content. It matters very much what is placed on YouTube. So it's the same concept. At least you can make an effort to say, okay, host, this is what I saw going on in the live stream, or make a suggestion. At least you can make the effort. But to feel that you're forced into a situation where these conversations are going on, yes, you're free to exit. Absolutely 100%. But if you have grown to, respect the space in other means, in other ways, You got a decision to make. Know the risk that are involved when you share a space, when this kind of stuff is going on. It leads to many things beyond YouTube. I hope what I'm saying gives you somewhat food for thought. Ultimately, it's your choice where you go. Stay tuned for my other video. I'm going to be getting into some other topics surrounding a concern that I had, something that kind of, to be honest with you, irked me. And I have to do a video on this. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.